Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with part 2 of my fall fragrance picks. So this was super highly requested. I asked in my last video, the first part to this video, if you would like to see a part 2 because I definitely have tons more that I could share with you, and overwhelmingly people said yes. So I am here with part 2 today. I have a ton of fragrances, so I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to say 2 things before I do jump in though. I am a little bit under the weather. My daughter brought home a little cold from school, which I have now picked up, so if my voice sounds a little bit weird, that's why. And then part 2 is that I am literally surrounded by boxes right now. We are moving this weekend, so there's probably stuff in the background that you can see. I literally have boxes everywhere, so just please excuse that. I apologize. But once we get moved into our new house, I will get an area set up and it will be back to normal. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump right in. The first 6 that I have to share with you are going to be roller balls or pen sprays because that's all I have those fragrances in. So the first one I want to talk about is Jimmy Choo, and this is just the original Jimmy Choo. Now this is described as being a fruit chouly, but to me this is a very warm, comforting fragrance to me. I believe that this has toffee in it, which brings it to that kind of fall, or gives it that kind of fall vibe to me. So Jimmy Choo is green top notes, tiger orchid, sweet toffee caramel, and Indonesian patchouli. So this is beautiful. This is just a very warm, comforting scent. This would be an excellent signature scent because it could be worn any time of year, but I just think it's particularly beautiful in the fall because it's got that toffee caramel in the base, and it's just warm and comforting and cozy, and I just love this one. Okay, moving right along, the next one. Now this, I'm going to tell you right away, is one of my top 5 fragrances of all time. I will make a video about that too, with just like my top 5 or maybe top 10, because I don't know that I can narrow it down to 5, but I will do like a top 5, top 10-ish type video of my favorite fragrances in my collection. So I tend to not say my favorite fragrances of all time because I've experienced probably less than 1% of all the fragrance that is on the market, and all I can base my favorites off of is obviously what's in my collection. So with that being said, this is one of my top favorites of all time. This is Replica by the Fireplace by Maison Margiela. Now, oh my goodness, I just have the pen spray because I just bought it to test it. I'm about halfway through the pen spray, which is a lot for me because I typically only wear perfumes like maybe tops 5 times a year because I have so many in my collection, but this one is just stunning to me. This is the coziest fragrance in my collection by far. This is my favorite. This has just the most beautiful, sweet, but not edible sweet, smoky, beautiful, it's just the most beautiful fragrance ever. I wish I could describe it in a better way, but let's talk about the notes. So the top notes on this one are pink pepper, orange blossom, and cloves. You definitely can smell the warmth of the cloves, but it's not overpowering in any way. Heart notes of chestnut, which I adore the chestnut in this. It makes this very, very unique because I can really smell the chestnut in it. Gaiac wood and juniper with base notes of vanilla, Peru balsam, and cashmere. And you really get a lot of the vanilla and the chestnut and the warmth of the cloves. It's just the most beautiful fall winter fragrance ever. You could wear this all year round if you wanted to, for sure. I don't think that this would be bad even in the heat of the summertime. I do think it could hold up to that, but for fall and winter, this is just my top pick. Okay, moving right along. I'm trying to keep these from rolling off my little desk here. Okay, so the next one I have to share with you, I have the original and then I have a dupe to talk about. So this is Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. And this is gorgeous. This is white flowers and coffee and chocolate. This is quite complex. This is just a gorgeous, warm, cozy fall fragrance to me. This could definitely go into winter, but I think that this is perfect for the fall. So the notes on this are tuberose, roasted tonka bean, sambac jasmine, and coffee. I'm sorry, cocoa. I do believe this has a coffee note in it though. Oh, it's just gorgeous. It's sweet and warm and cozy. I'm going to say that about all these fragrances because that's what I lean towards in the fall, is sweet, cozy, warm, comforting, something that makes you want to get by a fireplace and cuddle up in a cozy blanket, or you know, be by a window reading a book on a chilly fall day. Pumpkin pie, everything about fall. It's just my favorite. But so I've got the original Good Girl in the rollerball, and I also have Love Potion by Layered, which is the dupe for Good Girl, and it smells exactly like it to me. It's just beautiful. The Layered one is very affordable. This is $42.99. I believe, yeah, I haven't checked their prices in a while. I do think that they raised their prices because they changed their packaging to a nicer packaging. So it could possibly be $53.99, but even at $53.99 for the size you're getting, it's a steal. But this smells exactly like Good Girl, and it's heaven. So just wanted to talk about that real quick. Okay, the next one I have to talk about is Elizabeth and James Nirvana Bourbon. This is classic. This is very simple. This is not the most refined smelling perfume in the world. I am almost done with mine. I've had mine for quite a while. This consists of 3 notes, which is bourbon, vanilla, tuberose, and oak wood. And like I say, it's not the most sophisticated smelling thing in the world, but it's just nice. It just has a coziness to it. It's very woody. You really can smell every single note. You smell the tuberose, though very lightly. You smell the wood, and you smell the vanilla, the bourbon vanilla. So it's just beautiful. Very simple, good, easy reach fragrance for the fall. Okay, moving right along. I have to look at my notes because I have so many here. I have to keep them in order. Okay, so the next one I have to talk about is Kenzo Amour. And this is a beautiful, warm, cozy fragrance, but like the Michael Kors Sexy Amber, this is more of a sexy skin type scent to me. This is less gourmand. This is less sweet. This is more warm, cozy, clean, fragrant skin, if that makes any sense. So the notes on this one are white tea, rice, incense, Burman, Tanaka wood, and vanilla. So yeah, just beautiful. Just a beautiful, warm, cozy, clean, fragrant skin scent. That's what this smells like, and it's lovely. Okay, the next one I have to talk about is very new to my collection. I've only tested this once, but I already love it, and I knew I would. This is another replica. This is Maison Margiela, Whispers in the Library. So, this is stunning. I knew I was gonna love this. I picked this up in the Sephora VIB sale, and the notes on this are pepper essence, tonka bean absolute, and vanilla. I think that this might have papyrus in it, or something that's supposed to kind of smell like dusty papers, or, you know, an old attic or something, which I know makes it sound not appealing. Who wants to smell like an old dusty attic? But there's a sweetness to this and a coziness to this. This is in no way a competitor for By the Fireplace, but this is still a very beautiful fragrance. It is, it's just cozy, and it smells like a cozy, warm library with maybe a vanilla candle burning close by. It's just really nice. So I'm excited to get into that one more this fall. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is another one of my top 10 favorite fragrances of all time. This was a signature fragrance for me from about 2008 to about 2011. I wore this exclusively, and that is Hypnotic Poison. This is my second bottle. This is a brand new bottle because I ran out of my last one. I don't think that they've reformulated between 2008 and now when I just bought this new one. It smells exactly the same to me. And it smells so, amazing. This is a fragrance that I never ever get tired of. Usually when I've had signature fragrances in the past and I've worn them for years, I quickly, well, not quickly, but after years, I will tire of them and not want to wear them anymore. Some of them I keep in my collection just for nostalgic reasons, especially the ones that I wore like in high school, but typically ones that I wore through the 2000s, I don't wear a ton anymore. This one though, I still wear to this day. I absolutely love this. The top notes on this are apricot, plum, and coconut. Heart notes of tuberose, jasmine, lily of the valley, rose, Brazilian rosewood, and caraway. And base notes of sandalwood, almond, and vanilla musk. And you really smell the almond in this. This is just really a stunning fragrance. This is warm, this is cozy, this is sweet, it's strong, it lasts forever. This I could spray a couple sprays on in the morning and I will still smell it 10 hours later at night. This is a beast of a fragrance. It's gorgeous. I have read reviews recently of people saying that their Hypnotic Poison is just not lasting anymore, that they have gotten some kind of a reformulation that is just not lasting, and thankfully my bottle is not like that. My bottle is very potent, very much the same as the last bottle I had, lasts forever on my skin, and I absolutely love this fragrance. So okay, moving right along. I'm gonna have to speed things up here because I've got a lot left. Okay, so the next one I have to talk about is Armani Code, and this has top notes of bitter and sweet orange, heart notes of orange blossom absolute and orange blossom absolute, jasmine, sambac, and ginger, and base notes of vanilla, honey, and sandalwood. And this is beautiful. This is warm. This is cozy. This is a newer bottle for me as well. This one I do believe has been reformulated. This does not last on my skin for more than a few hours, which is the only complaint I have about this perfume, especially for the price. I think I paid, you know, upwards of $70, $80 for this. So yeah, for it to not last on the skin is super disappointing, but I love the way this smells, so I picked it up and I have it in my collection. And it's a great fall scent, and you really get the orange blossom and honey with that one. Just a really nice, warm, cozy fragrance with the vanilla in the base is just beautiful. So, okay, the next one I have to talk about is a new one to my collection as well, and I absolutely love this one. This is Clinique My Happy, and this is the Cocoa and Cashmere. Now this comes in a little tiny bottle, so yeah, I think it's only a ½ ounce. It's just a ½ ounce. You can't get these in bigger bottles. I think these are meant for layering, but I love this fragrance by itself. This is just 3 notes, and it's cocoa absolute, vanilla, and musk. And this is gorgeous. This is a cross between a skin type fragrance and a gourmand, which is a really interesting pairing. It's the cocoa and the vanilla with the musk makes it this beautiful kind of sweet gourmand skin scent. So you're not going to get a ton of longevity out of this one. This one will last you a couple hours max. You will have to respray this quite often, but it's small enough that you could throw it in your bag and do that. It's also quite affordable. I want to say this was in the $20 range. So yeah, I love this one. This is a very cozy skin scent for me that I really like. Okay, the next one I have to talk about is Shalimar Souffle. So this is the original. I am about to order the Intense, and I love this fragrance. This is so cozy and beautiful. I've got like a little dust particle floating in front of me. Okay, so the notes on this one are top notes of lemon, bergamot, and mandarin, heart notes of sambac, jasmine, orange blossom water absolute, and base notes of Tahitian vanilla and white musk. And this is beautiful. This is cozy. This is a great transition scent. This will take you nicely from like the heat into the fall if you live in a climate like I do where it's not going to get cold here probably until the end of October. So yeah, it'll be quite warm out, but I still want to wear fall fragrances. So fragrances like this are going to be perfect with the lemon that add kind of the brightness that'll work well in the heat, but the vanilla in the base that make it warm and cozy still. So this is just a great transition fragrance if you live in a climate like me. Okay, the next one I have to talk about, and this one's dusty because these lids are just ridiculous. They collect dust and then you can't ever really get the dust out. I try to dust it, but it's to no avail. But this is Marc Jacobs Lola, and this is an interesting fragrance. I would not say that this is a safe blind buy. I did blind buy mine at TJ Maxx some years back, and I love this fragrance. I like it on my skin. It works really well. It's really beautiful. Let's talk about the notes here. So the top notes on this one, sorry, no, I'm just going to give you all the notes because it didn't have a top, heart, and base listed. But the notes on this are pink pepper, pear, ruby red grapefruit, peony, rose, geranium, vanilla, musk, and tonka. And I will tell you, geranium is typically a note that I don't really love in fragrance. Geranium is used in a lot of masculine fragrances, which I love masculine fragrances, don't get me wrong, but it's just a note that I don't love. I have geranium essential oil that I use for other purposes, and I don't love the smell of it. It's supposed to be kind of like a substitute for rose, and it does smell a little bit like rose, but it smells like an earthy rose, which I don't really love. But this has geranium in it, and I do like how this smells. So this is, again, not a safe blind buy, but this is warm and cozy. It's very peppery in the initial spray, and then it dries down to kind of a peppery sweet fragrance on my skin that just works really well. So I do really enjoy this fragrance this time of year, and I love this into winter as well. Okay, the next one I have to talk about is another one that I absolutely love. This is a compliment getter for me. Every time I wear this fragrance, people ask me what I'm wearing, and this is Versace Crystal Noir. So this is the Eau de Parfum, and I know that there is an Eau de Toilette, but the Eau de Parfum has a coconut note in it, which is what makes it really sweet and warm and cozy, whereas the Eau de Toilette does not have that coconut note in it, if I am correct. And so I haven't smelled that one, so I'm not sure. Mine has seen better days, like my cap is kind of falling off. Oh my gosh, but I love this fragrance so much. Yeah. Okay, so the notes on this one are, and this is Crystal Noir, I hope I said that at the beginning. The notes on this are white flowers, sandalwood, and coconut. It's a pretty simple fragrance. It smells pretty simple, but you get that coconut, and it's a creamy, delicious coconut. It's not a watery coconut, but it's not a sunscreen coconut either. It's kind of in between the two. It's just a beautiful, creamy, sweet coconut, and I just love this. It's a cozy fragrance for the fall, and like I said, this is a compliment getter. People love this perfume. Moving right along, the next one is a newer one to my collection. This is one that I just picked up recently, and this is called, this is by a perfume house called Charriol, which I do believe is actually a jewelry company that makes perfume. It's a French brand. I had never heard of it. I just had come across this, and it was a really good price, so I picked it up. It comes with this really pretty, come on, camera, focus, ring. You're supposed to be able to take the cap off and then wear the little ring, and it's really, really beautiful. It's got sapphires in it. So there we go. It's really, really nice quality. It's heavy. It's a really beautiful quality. And I love the lid. It's got like gaps in it. It's just really cool. So, sorry, this is called Imperial Sapphire, and again, it is by Charriol. Charriol, I'm not sure. It's French, and I'm probably going to butcher that, but this reminds me a lot of Karl Lagerfeld's Sun, Moon, and Stars. If you remember that from way back in the 90s, which I remember it clearly, this really, really reminds me of that fragrance. So the top notes on this are Sicilian bergamot, incense, and freesia. And you really smell the freesia in this. The heart note, with heart notes of Turkish rose, Indian jasmine, and orchid blossoms, and base notes of Indonesian patchouli, musk, and sandalwood. So I did look up the notes on Sun, Moon, and Stars to see if I was correct in this smelling like it, and Sun, Moon, and Stars had very similar notes. It also contained the freesia, which I smell a lot in this perfume, and so I do think that yeah, I do think that they smell very, very similar. So anyways, there's that one. I have worn this. This is, you're going to get about moderate longevity out of this. It doesn't last for like 8 hours, but it's definitely not going to wear away after like 4 hours. I could still smell it at like the 6-hour mark, but it was kind of a close to the skin scent by that time. But yeah, I picked this up for like $23 or something, so I'm really happy to have it in my collection, and it's a really nice, warm, cozy scent. And like I say, if you remember what Sun, Moon, and Stars smells like, you will know kind of what this smells like, and it's just kind of that warm, cozy, kind of fall type scent. So there's that one. Okay, the next one I have to talk about is another one that was a signature scent for me for a couple years. I didn't wear this one for too long. I wore it long enough to go through a bottle. I just picked up, not too recently, but you know, within the last 6 months or so, I picked up a little 1/2-ounce bottle of it just to have it in my collection again. But I realized that I really do love this scent, and that is Calvin Klein Euphoria. So, oh my gosh, I love this. This is probably my favorite scent from Calvin Klein. This is just a beautiful perfume. This is rosehip, apple, green leaves, lotus, black orchid, red woods, black violet, and amber. And this is a warm, cozy scent that you would definitely pair with like a sweater or a scarf. This is one that you could spray on, and it has great longevity. It lasts forever. I think this has been reformulated. It smells a little bit different from my original bottle. It doesn't smell as strong. I have not worn this yet, so I'm not totally sure, because I picked this up maybe back in like, I don't know, late winter, early spring, and I have not worn it. So I'm not sure what the longevity on this one is anymore. I know my original bottle though, it was a beast. It was crazy. It would last forever. You could smell it all day. You could spray it on clothing and smell it days later. Yeah, I really love this. But anyways, that is Euphoria by Calvin Klein. Warm, cozy, beautiful fragrance. Okay, the next one I have to talk about is a new one, but oh man, did this jump to the top of my favorites list very quickly. This is Raghba by Lataffa. I think I'm saying that correctly. Now, I have since done some research on this fragrance, and there was another one that I think it's called Raghba Original or something, and I think that one is probably a more intense version of this, because people on Fragrantica are saying that this version is not a beast like the last one was, that this isn't as intense for them as the last one was, and I'm thinking that maybe they got a bottle of like the original one and it might be way more intense than this one, but I can't imagine it being more intense because my bottle is so good and so intense, and my husband hates this fragrance, so anytime I spray this in the house, he smells it immediately. As soon as he walks in the door, he's like, oh, you sprayed that perfume, I don't like that. And I'm like, yes, I sprayed it, I love it. But if he can smell it like from the front door, you can tell that this definitely has some longevity to it. This is gorgeous. This is such a beautiful fragrance. This is oud, musk, vanilla, sugar, sandalwood, and incense. And this is a sweet, sweet oud. That's what this is. It's beautiful. I love this. My husband does not like it, which tells me he probably doesn't like the oud in it, because oud is definitely it's a fragrance that you either love or you hate. I love it. He does not like it, but this is a very sweet sugared oud, and I adore it. Heavy, heavy vanilla, cozy, comforting, everything you want in the fall. So there's that one. Okay, my next one, and I actually have 2 different bottles of this now because I picked another bottle up, which is another version of this. This is, before I get into that, I'll tell you, this is Dior Addict. So I had a subscriber comment on one of my videos, maybe on my vanilla fragrance videos, that I have a 2012 version, she said. She said that that's what this one is, and mine is from 2012 for sure. That's what, when I checked the date on this, it is from 2012. This is a stunning one. She said that this one, she said there are 3 different versions, and apparently this one is the most unique and harder to find one. And so I'm super glad to have it in my collection. I picked up I paid like $15 for a bundle of other perfumes that had another Addict in it, and that's the only reason I picked up that bundle. I couldn't have cared less about the other perfumes in it. I just saw a bottle of Addict, and it only has like this much left in it, a couple inches. But for 15 bucks, I was like super happy to get it, and it was a different version. So it's the newest formulation of it. And so I've got two versions of this. That was a long-winded way to tell you that I've got two versions of this, and I love this fragrance. They do smell slightly different. This one is definitely a little bit richer, a little bit sweeter. There's something about this one that I like more than the newer formulation. So now I feel like I've got to get my hands on the original formulation so that I can compare all three and have all three in my collection. But let's talk about the notes on this. So this has got top notes of mandarin leaves, mulberry flowers, heart notes of night queen flower, Bulgarian rose, and orange flower, and base notes of bourbon, vanilla, sandalwood, and tonka bean. And this is beautiful. People describe this as being like a sexy nighttime fragrance. To me, this is just a sweet, cozy, beautiful fragrance that I will wear any time of day. I probably won't rock this in the summertime because it is quite heavy for that, but fall, winter, perfect for this fragrance. So, okay, moving right along. I've got another one that is not a safe blind buy, but I'm going to share it with you anyways. This is Ombre Rose by Jean-Charles Brosseau. Brosseau. I'm the worst, but this is called Ombre Rose, and this is kind of a cult classic type fragrance. So this is powder. This is a powdery almond fragrance to me. Now, oh, I love this so much. Again, not a safe blind buy. This has rose in the name, and I think rose is in the notes, but I do not smell a hint of rose in this. All I smell is like powdery almonds or powdery nuts. This is just a powdery, cozy, wrap up in a blanket type of fragrance. So let me tell you what the notes on this are. And like I say, this does, I believe, contain rose, but I don't smell a hint of rose in this. So this came out in 1981, so this is quite a classic vintage type fragrance. It has top notes of aldehydes, which you can smell immediately. You can smell the brightness of the aldehydes right away, but it's not like Chanel type aldehydes. It just brings like a brightness to the heavy powderiness of it. So aldehydes, peach, I don't smell a hint of peach. Brazilian rosewood and geranium again, so I do smell those. Heart notes of sandalwood, orris root, vetiver, ylang ylang, lily of the valley, cedar, and rose. And base notes of honey, iris, tonka bean, cinnamon, musk, vanilla, and heliotrope. And I think that those notes, the listing of those notes are quite deceiving. I don't think that you can smell any type of fruitiness in this. This is very warm, cozy, quite dense. The aldehydes do bring a lightness to it, but it is quite a powdery, dense fragrance, and it reminds me of powdered almonds. Even though almond isn't a note in this, it still reminds me of a very powdered almond type fragrance. So if you like powdery fragrances, definitely pick this up. It's very affordable. If you don't, definitely do not. It is quite powdery, and this is not a safe blind buy by any means. Also, it doesn't last terribly long on the skin. You're going to get maybe 4 hours out of this, but I love this fragrance, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. Okay, moving right along. The next one I have is Serpentine by Roberto Cavalli. So I love this fragrance. This is not gourmand by any means. This is, let's see, top notes of mandarin and mango blossom, heart notes of tiare flower, frangipani, violets, and black pepper, and base notes of tolu, balsam, sandalwood, and amber. And that's what I would describe this as. This is kind of a light amber fragrance. But it's still warm and cozy. It's very feminine. I have to smell it. It has a little bit of brightness to it, but you really get that beautiful amber base with like a little bit of brightness on the top. It's very beautiful. I love Roberto Cavalli fragrances. I just think that they're really nice and they're very affordable. So I think I picked this up. This was a partial bottle that I picked up, and I picked it up for quite reasonably, like, I don't know, $15 or $20 or something. So anyways, love this one for the fall. Okay, I'm going to try and get through this quickly, these last three, because my voice is about to give out. It's getting very scratchy, I can tell, and my nose is starting to run, so I don't want to put you through that. And I know this video is getting quite long anyways, but The next one I have to talk about is Pure Vanilla by La Vanilla. So this, oh, I love this as a vanilla fragrance. This is a complex vanilla, I would say. This is not a simple pure vanilla fragrance, even though the name says pure vanilla. This is not a simple vanilla fragrance. This is a complex vanilla, and it has many more notes than just vanilla. It's really beautiful. This has patchouli, freesia, heliotrope, Madagascar vanilla, and tonka bean in it. You get the freesia, you get the vanilla, and it's the Madagascar vanilla, so it's a little bit of a heavier vanilla. This is just a really beautiful fragrance. This is one that easily can be worn on its own, but definitely can be paired as well. And like I say, this is a nice, cozy, complex vanilla fragrance. And this is quite affordable. This bottle, which is 50 ml, 50 ml, 1.7 ounces, I think it was like $48. So it's quite affordable, and I love this. This is my second bottle of this. I just had to pick up to replace my last bottle that I ran out of, but love this. Cozy, cozy vanilla for the fall. Okay, excuse me. The next one I have to talk about is one that I saw Amy Loves Perfume talk about at some point on her channel. She's got tons of videos, so I'm not sure which one it was. I think it might have been like a fall fragrance video, if I remember correctly, but as soon as I saw this fragrance, I had to have it just for the packaging. This is Hane Mori, and this is Magical Moon. So I love the packaging on this. The cap is a moon. It's so cool. I picked mine up for very reasonable, and I love this fragrance. This is such a cozy, beautiful fragrance. So Magical Moon is pink pepper, lychee, guava, pineapple. Those are the top notes. The heart notes are rose, orange blossom, osmanthus, and ginger, and you really get the warmth of the ginger in this. Base notes of sugarcane, vanilla, coconut, sandalwood, and patchouli. So this is a beautiful, sweet, warm, cozy fall fragrance to me. I absolutely love this, and I would definitely recommend this. Definitely a safe blind buy, unless you don't like ginger, because it does have a touch of the ginger in it, and it brings a lot of warmth to the fragrance, but some people don't like ginger. So if you don't like ginger, I would stay away from this. If you do, go for it. This is beautiful. It's getting very hard to find too, because it has been discontinued. I do think you can still pick that one up on FragranceNet. Okay, and the last one I have to talk about is Smokey Rose. This is actually White Musk Smokey Rose by The Body Shop. So this is a very, very affordable fragrance. I love this. I don't know why I didn't include this in my rose video. Probably because I just overlooked it. This probably should have been included in that video, but this is a gorgeous, warm, smoky rose fragrance. Okay, so this has top notes of bergamot, pink pepper, and black currant, heart notes of tobacco blossom, black rose, orange blossom, and immortelle, and base notes of olibanum and white musk. And I forgot, somebody just left a comment on one of my videos, one of my recent videos, because I didn't know what olibanum was, and they told me what olibanum was, and now I forget what it is. So if you're watching, please comment in this video what olibanum was, because it was really interesting. I think it's some kind of wood. It might be a form of guaiac wood, or I can't totally remember, but that would make sense because this smells like a rose oud fragrance to me. This is beautiful. This is exactly what it says. It's like a woody, smoky, warm, comforting rose, and it is not a dated rose scent by any means. This is a very modern smelling rose scent. If you like smoky fragrances, if you like woody fragrances, and if you like rose fragrances, I think you would really like this. These are very, very affordable too. You can catch these on sale at the Body Shop, especially around the holidays, and get these for a really good price. And sometimes you can get lucky and come across these in TJ Maxx. So anyways, that's my last fall fragrance, and I absolutely love this one. So anyways, guys, I'm sorry. I hope this video wasn't super long. I hope that you were able to make it through this one. This is another batch of fall fragrances that I will be rocking this winter and fall. I love these so much. I will have a winter fragrance video coming because I have some fragrances in my collection that I thought about putting in this video, but they are very deep fragrances and they are more suitable for winter. So I will definitely be making a winter fragrance video when we get closer to winter. Let me know if there are any videos that you guys would like to see, if there are any parts of my collection that you would like to see, or any types of fragrances that you would like to see. I am definitely down to make whatever videos you like. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of videos coming, but I want to go ahead and get some things done that you would like to see. So anyways, guys, I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.